We got DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns on WWE programming, and on top of that, the Motor City Machine Guns are WWE Tag Team Champions.
Yeah. Fuck you!
Most rocket push shit ever. And then, on top of that, Jimmy and Jey Uso on the same side of things for the first time in, over a year?
I cannot believe how hard this SmackDown chose to cook. However, with the Motor City Machine Guns running SmackDown now to one side, in 2024, the Usos are now together.
According to this promo that Jey Uso cut, it is no longer the OG Bloodline that we know. It is going to be Bloodline as equals. There is no yes man, there is no right-hand man. What does this new Bloodline look like now? This new dynamic where Roman Reigns is no longer going to be the top dog, the one that makes the final call. How does that change things in comparison to where they were?
Is this new Bloodline necessary? Like, do we want to see Roman, Jey, and Jimmy as this babyface group long term? Because I'm thinking this doesn't last past this story with new Bloodline.
Is this something that even stands long term? I know the success of Jey going solo, and I do believe that they weren't expecting Jey to get so over.
Yeah. If the three of them kind of come back together and become just babyface Bloodline, the push hasn't worked, I think. If you want Jey to be the main event guy, as everybody in attendance seems to want him to be, because he's got his fingers in almost everything,
Yeet.
I think you have to establish Jey as a actual main eventer. Now, Jimmy is a whole other thing, because I think Jimmy has just been kind of poorly managed.
100%. They have neglected him so hard. I will say, though, it felt, in my heart, real good to see the Usos back in action. And I got chills. I'm not gonna lie. It was a little sentimental. I almost cried.
Gotta get that 2016 nostalgia in there, man.
Yeah, next thing you know, they're gonna make their entrance, and it's gonna be the Aoi Samoa! Aoi Samoa!
That would be actually awesome, in like a horrible way. But it would be awesome. Then that should be their entrance at WrestleMania.
That should be Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa's thing.
Yes! And Tonga Loa, he would just do it wrong every time, and it would be great.
WWE, get on your shit.
No, you know what? They are gonna take the Gorillas of Destiny to the Uso Penitentiary. You know who else has been in a penitentiary? Dirty Dom. The Usos and Dirty Dom are going to usurp Roman Reigns, and they will form the Bloodline. This is where Rey Mysterio gets his heel LWO faction that he's wanted for like a decade.
Oh my gosh! And then they bring in the Blue Mini, and because the BWO, and then it's BWO, LWO, War Games.
This is how to use the Usos.
Gorillas of Destiny versus the Usos in a Punjabi prison War Games match.
Oh my god. You wouldn't be able to see anything. However, speaking of War Games, we kind of know it's leading to Survivor Series, leading to a War Games thing, but it's kind of what happens after that I don't know what happens. Like, I can see Roman Reigns doing stuff. Roman as a solo guy, yeah, he goes and does stuff. Jey and Jimmy don't know what to do with that.
It definitely feels weird for them to just go back to being a tag team.
I don't know how to not have them lost in the shuffle, and I especially do not want the Usos to be caught up in the, what I am calling, Bloodline year-long cycle, where if you're in the Bloodline, you do all of your work in the last 2 to 3 months and the first 2 to 3 months of the year in WrestleMania. And then you do not do shit for the rest of the year.
And I like to think that WWE is sort of getting smart in terms of tag team wrestling, and I'm hoping that they do interesting stuff. Especially with them bringing in the Motor City Machine Guns.
It seems Triple H definitely, I agree with you, sees the value in tag team wrestling. So what happens to the Usos after Survivor Series?
Probably Elimination Chamber, they get tag gold, They lose it at some point, probably on like a throwaway episode of SmackDown, and then that sort of culminates in, well, why the f*** we lose the tag team titles? It's your fault, or no, it's your fault, or whatever, and then we're gonna get a rematch at WrestleMania, but like it's gonna be good this time.
Oh, like they're not on the same page because of all the animosity. That makes sense.
They both go their separate ways. Jay actually does shit, and then Jimmy could possibly do shit, which is, at the end of the day, exactly how I think WWE feels it, like in the office.
They don't care about Jimmy, despite the fact that I think Jimmy is very good. So we got the Usos splitting up in the fantasy booking.
Yeah, but also at the same time, there was a different part of my life where I would have said the Usos need to stay together for their entire fucking career. Don't split them up. But I feel like this is one of the rare occurrences where splitting them up does better for both of them.
A lot of it's kind of like just dependent on the story, I think. Jimmy, in whatever that story is, needs to be the star of the story. Jay has been given so much more time to shine. If Jimmy were to go heel again, first off, they have to actually explain his reason this time, and it has to really make sense. Because I think if 100%. Jimmy turned heel correctly the first time, he'd certainly have, like, solo heat.
But that entire, like, first heel run still confuses me. I don't understand what happened with that.
It's like they built the feud not because they had a reason to, but because they built it knowing there is a video package at the end they have to build around different scenes. And the video package will do it best. And fair play, that's kind of what happened, and it did kind of work until the match started. Until Lil Wayne came out, really, if we're going to be honest.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh my god.